So I'm here at Blech Expo. I'm with Kevin here from RAS is the company. We're looking at a semi-automatic machine behind us here. Quite interesting, isn't it, to have this sort of technology on show. What's the main benefit to it, Kevin?
So especially this machine is more for electrical cabinets. So this means we have the automatic machine we already seen. We just have to insert the sheet, or we have different loading and unloading systems. In this case, we always need an operator. And the semi-automatic part begins when we just have the linear motion. So for a four-sided box, for example, we only need to insert the sheet once. One side gets bent automatically, and then we just rotate the part to the next side.
So you're having to rotate. Well, let's get him to press start so
Yes.
we can see this in the background. If you're ready. So this is the first part of the process. He's having to line the sheet up here. Is he himself? Yeah. And then we've got suction.
Exactly. We have a system to position the sheet, as you can see. Those two some kind of blocks on the front. We position the sheet.
Is that accurate positioning? Good enough?
That's absolutely more than one tenth of a millimeter. So this is absolute accurate positioning. Then the pulse lift system, the blue suction cups, move the sheet forward and backwards. Now, as you can see, we are doing a ham, negative bend. Then we use the folding beam to lift the sheet up, bring it back with the pulse lift system, crush the ham, and then continue the bending process.
What about the actual, when you're doing the program of this, the weight exerted, the force exerted to do the bending, who calculates all that?
You mean the programming? Who creates the program?
Yeah, well, who creates all the parameters around the amount of force on the machine to do the bends? Is that something you have to work out yourself?
No, that's all is already set on the machine.
Depending on the thickness of the material?
Yes, exactly. The easiest part, well, I think it's the best to go around now.
So now this is a second break. He's now having to turn it, and this is why we're saying it's semi-automatic. You get attracting a lot of attention here at the show this week. Has it been busy so far?
Yeah, it has been busy. Not that much like we would like to have it, but I think it was still pretty crowded at some times. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so we're now this side. So we're now going to see more of the finished article coming through, yeah?
Now the interesting part in this sequence now is that we have a tab which is offset by sheet thickness. You will see it in one or two steps. And this tab, which gets bent inside later on, can be welded afterwards pretty easy. Now you see we need the up-down tool on the right side, so we don't bend the tab on the right side first. We bend our standard flange.
I see, yeah.
And now the up-down tool gets in the upper position, and the sheet gets moved by sheet thickness, so this tab will be offset by sheet thickness. So in the end sequence for the fourth side, then it will be bent inside the part.
I mean, this is a classic application, is it? This is the right, these electrical cabinets are perfect for this sort of machine, aren't they?
More or less, yes. But in this case, this is not an electrical cabinet. This is more like a demo part for a, what's it called? You can pull out, what's it called? I'm not
a
sure.
drawer, a tray, or something
Yes.
like that in a cabinet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The electrical cabinet we have seen, what's the 400 high box-shaped part right next to it.
I mean, it makes you think, though, how you would have made these before the automation was brought into this. There would have been a lot of, operator sort of intervention needed, wouldn't there?
Especially for the up-down tool, either you have two different tool stations where you can bend it. If the part is too big, then you have to make a manual tool change. Now, in this case, we just have to activate, deactivate, and position the up-down tool, and then the time, as you can see, is really time saving.
Now, is this running as fast as it can run, or have you backed it off for the exhibition, or is it?
No, it is the fastest it can go, but if you compare it with the multi-bend center, it's a big difference in speed. But the difference also in between those two machines is that the capacity of this machine is 4mm steel, while the multi-bend center has its limits at 2 or 2.5mm.
Do you have much competition? I know you do in the machine itself, but when it comes to being semi-automated, is there a lot of competition in this field? Will we see a lot around the show?
Yes, I think so. There are a lot of competitions, but the main difference we have compared to our competitors is the software. That we have a really easy software. We can just load a 3-dimensional step file, for example, throw it in the software, click on bend. It's a one-click programming, and then we have different strategies we can select from.
So if I had a step file of this drawer that we're looking at here, you load that in and it will work everything out for you?
Exactly, that's how it works. It's as easy as it can be, yes.
Gee whiz, I might buy one. Thank you very much, Kevin.
You're welcome, thank you.